Marv assembly complete.
Hey, what's up guys, Massive here, coming back to do another video commentary, and this game will be on 1.02. It's again going to be between two really famous players, and I know it's on 1.02, but it doesn't necessarily mean to say that it was a lot later on in the game. It was actually played during the early months of 2009 anyway. With all that said, let's get on to this game, shall we? It's going to be between Dynamic and d.Dackel. Dynamic being the T-59, d.Dackel being GDI, his main faction. And over here in the top of Tournament Dust Bowl, we can see d.Dackel playing as the pink GDI. And down here we can see Dynamic playing as the T-59 in cyan. I was looking at the shadows for a minute. I was like, yeah, fuck, I just disabled the shadows, but no, I didn't. I usually disable shadows so I can get things in thumbnails because I have this green map and it's easy to extract things without shadows. Anyways, Dynamic going for the advanced articulator upgrade, going for a... I'm sorry? He's going for advanced articulators, but no disintegrators. I used to do this back in the day as well, but I used to fool my opponent and go one disint only, because they usually overspend and make an APC anyways. But yeah, with all that said, he's going to go for the fast legs, and Dynamic is going to get himself an engineer kill over here. And over here we see that Dynamic has lost his engineer. Dynamic going to lose an engineer. d.Dackel going to lose an engineer as well. Very ballsy, I have to say, going for two engineers as GDI. But both are going to come out even here. I think d.Dackel, though, will have a slight advantage in that Dynamic went for those fast leg disintegrators. But the thing is, if d.Dackel cleans all these scouts up, he's never going to expect distints in a million years. In fact, let's go to his vision right now just to confirm if that's the case. It's actually a rifle squad here. If this gets into the base, he's going to reveal the base here. And wow, that was a really 2009 thing to do, sell the refinery for that $500. It made more sense in 1.01 because the harvesters just cost more, but yeah. It was actually better to, I guess, even in 1.01 to make refineries instead of harvesters from the war factory. But there's disintegrators out here for Dynamic. Remember, these are old disintegrators, or disintegrators that existed before we nerfed them. So they're going to be quite powerful here. They're going to find these harvesters. Unfortunately for Dynamic, these harvesters do have chain guns on them, and they're going to be a counter. And those will get taken out here. No response needed for d.Dackel to counter this. And yeah, there's nothing coming on the other side. In fact, yeah, this harvester may be going down here. If it doesn't go down, Dynamic's in a lot of trouble. And yeah, d.Dackel saved that by the skin of his teeth. Dynamic going to go for his refinery and harvester here. He could potentially take that Tiberium spike back because he does have those fast leg simulators. Yeah, there you go. He's taken it back. So even though Dynamic has more harvesters and refineries, he does have two spikes to contend with. He's going for APC engineers, it looks like right now, to reclaim one of them back. Because when I played this map years ago, going for those spikes, even when you're behind in harvesters refineries, it's going to pay off in the long run if your opponent doesn't deal with it. Your tib fields are going to seem like way more resources because of the income from the spikes. So yeah, one of them is going to get reclaimed here for d.Dackel promptly, not allowing the Dynamic to accumulate a big advantage early on with those spikes. But yeah, he's going to build another engineer here. And where's the APC going? It's going back probably for another engineer to take the other spike. If I were Dynamic, I'd go for a couple more disintegrators. He's going for disintegrators now. I thought he's going to go for another engineer, and in anticipation of losing this spike to another APC engineer. It would have been kind of sick if he foresaw that and he done that. But yeah, APC engineer here, going to get caught by surprise. He can throw the minefield down, but Dynamic's micro too good for that. He's going to retreat. He's going to, those disintegrators will live to see another day. He's got a gunwalker out here. You can fuse a buzzer with the gunwalker just to make it reveal mines. As long as you put the buzzer on hold fire stance, though, the gunwalker does then have the ability to reveal the mines. And these APCs are going to get caught by surprise here. I think the Dynamic is going to commit more units here. APC going to safeguard Dynamic Spike. He probably put a minefield in front of it as well, and you know, that engineer will die the next time it goes there. But the micro from both sides is actually really good here. Can't really fault them on that at all. Harvester going back the long way to base. There's 4 or 5 harvesters here. I think Dynamic has to get 1 or 2 more out. And the main difference between players of then and now is that people nowadays just make harvesters, like massive amounts of them, like 10 harvesters. Whereas back then people were more aggressive because they had the micro to pull off early game pressure builds on tier 1. Nowadays people don't have the balls, to be honest, to do that. As I mentioned in my last video, APC is going to be soon upgraded with AP ammo. I did see the comm center earlier, it's over there. And Dynamic going to get those 2 spikes once again. If D.Dackel ever again has map control, he should just kill those spikes, because he's never going to be able to deal with those fast leg assimilators cost effectively with his own APC engineers. And he's getting taken out here. He should really retreat until he has AP ammo, which he does have now. Lightning Spike coming down for Dynamic, that will absorb some damage. Disintegrators and Gunwalkers is the name of the game for Dynamic right now. He's going for a... Ooh, this is sneaky. This is really sneaky. He's on hold fire as well. Can Dynamic spot this? He sees the engineer right now. He needs to sell his power plant. Right, sells it straight away. And wow, lucky Dynamic there. He had a refinery queued, you know, telegraphing to him that he should go look at his base. And yeah, nice move though from Dynamic, putting that on hold fire just so it doesn't show a battle marker on the minimap. And mine drops coming down here for D.Dackel. He's going to kill some of these units. Cultists out in the field as well. What do we have over here? APC is still alive. He's going to be on low power. That was an upgraded power plant, so I guess that did damage him somewhat, though it's only going to cost him $400 to get another one out. Triple refinery on this field. D.Dackel is going to be harvesting that field pretty quickly. Harvester glitching as well for Dynamic. I expect him to rectify that soon, and also transfer these harvesters. He doesn't have the optimal ratio of harvesters to refineries there. APC's out. He needs to go for maybe shatter attacks or hammerheads even to deal with these cultists, because they're very powerful. Back in the day, when I done this strategy, mostly everyone went for sniper teams inside of APCs, which was really powerful and it was hard to stop. But once the mecha beads come out, it's very hard obviously to deal with that. A combination of air and infantry and vehicles is the way to go, I reckon, versus Traveler. And an APC engineer comes in, takes out a refinery. So this is like Green Zero, how he plays nowadays, non-stop NPC engineers, even if it doesn't work. In fact, no, Green Zero, I don't mean Bike Crush. Bike Crush is the kind of person that would continually send those to the enemy base. I guess that's where he learned it from, because let's face it, D.Dackel was around before Bike Crush. And yeah, APC's getting grabbed here. They're going to be really annoying cultists on this map because of these structures. Some of them are on low HP by default, but Gunwalkers engaging APCs. Gunwalkers are going to have a clear advantage there, just because they have so much gun damage, and APCs are kind of lightly armored. I think D.Dackel needs to maybe go for something else, like maybe shatter attacks mixed in. That will easily force the transition from Dynamic, though this is a kind of awful place to engage because of the cultists. They can grab something and then immediately enter the structures. What do we have going on here for builds? Tier 2 and Stasis Chamber around in the same area. D.Dackel probably forcing Dynamic to queue another, I was going to say a buzzer hive, because he was maybe expecting more APC engineers, but there's actually a surveyor coming out. Screen surveyors are actually a bit better than Nod and GDI ones, because you can actually sell them if they under fire and get spotted while in the deploying stage, unlike the Nod and GDI ones where you can't sell them for some reason. Not sure why that is, but yeah, 2 more factories out for D.Dackel. Where's his MCV? MCV over here going for a expansion, and Dynamic going for the Hexapod as well. So pretty solid Traveler gameplay here. Even me being super critical, I can't really fault these 2 players here. They're playing very, very, very well. I just honestly can't. And this is 1.02, the meta that I'm most familiar with. Prodigy coming in here. He's going to have a little more HP compared to now. But yeah, that was bad micro as well. He's losing his cultists now. He needs to micro. He's not doing that. Maybe he didn't know the correct way to micro cultists back then. Dynamic, more of a Reaper Scrin player. Here's me commenting on micro, but that was not a good engagement for Dynamic. D.Dackel granted himself a nice engagement there. He's going to come through. and probably win out this fight. Hexapod is out on the way though. However, d.Dackel does have a refinery already on his third, as well as a dynamic, so both are pretty much even here. Sells off the surveyor straight away because he has ground control there. And I expect another prodigy to be coming out. One to teleport the Hexapod to his expansion, which looks like d.Dackel is going towards now. He's still got 2 spikes to contend with d.Dackel right now. He could probably get barracks down and immediately capture that, though I guess he's focusing and prioritizing his income and time on getting a fourth refinery out. And that's just begging for firehawks to bomb both of those refineries there. But how is d.Dackel going to... I mean, Dynamic going to hold this back. He's going to put double shock troopers in this Hexapod, which is a good call because, you know, you have to contend with GDI air, which is obviously going to be a thing later on. And he's going to take out this spike here real quick because he has the time to do that. And Storm Column comes down as well. That will cement Dynamic's position at this base. No engineer around the side. He's going to take out this spike as well. And Dynamic has double refinery on the other side of the map at the moment. Hexapod getting resources for each unit it kills. Now would be the time for d.Dackel to maybe transition into EMP Grenadiers and go for that along with his tier 1 army. That would shut down this Hex. He's not going for his infantry upgrades though. He's got infantry from double racks but no composite armor. He needs to really get that right now. He's not got an armory. I guess he's trying to get that out immediately right now. He sells both his refineries over there. He's got eco, but he can't be cost ineffective versus this Hexapod forever, otherwise it will be teleported and lame to victory. Though it's not nearly as bad as 1.01. I casted the game on that map between these two guys and it was freaking insane. And the Hexapod getting taken out here. Please phase this. Oh my god, he doesn't phase it? How did that happen? Did he not have income at the time? I guess he had something queued and he forgot to stop at that as quick as he could. He's going for another Hexapod immediately right now. He's going for a Prodigy. Does he have his Prodigy out? Let's go to his... why is my hotkeys not working? Oh yeah, I'm hitting the wrong ones. Prodigy is out in the field, I can see. And yeah, that's going to be a real nuisance here. I think d.Dackel is just going to be suiciding in those to the Dynamic here. He should have maybe teleported the Harvester back. Something that I tend to do nowadays is teleport units back, like itty bitty bits of units that are about to die, because any damage that they're taking will be made void if you teleport back. But yeah, Prodigy here getting stuck on the Harvester, almost costing its life, and going to get healed by the Prodigy. Micro is going to be of the essence here for Dynamic. He's struggling a lot to get through with this. He needs to teleport in his Hexapod, which he does do at the moment. Shock Trooper coming into the base. He's microing his hearts out. He's getting that Harvester back. Nice APM from Dynamic. Very nice micro indeed. And probably micro this Harvester back as well, because it will probably be swiftly targeted. The Hexapod here, he does have one Corruptor, but it doesn't have very far to retreat. This is just non-stop aggression though for d.Dackel. He's going for his infantry upgrades right now. He does have them back. And Hexapod, if he didn't lose it the first time, he probably would have been handling this pretty easily. What do you have over here? Harvesters, Leeching Tiberium, EMP Grenadiers. Not sure if that was researched yet, but was that the Prodigy dead? No, it wasn't. Harvester's getting destroyed still on this field. He's just getting this camped right now. He doesn't have EMP though, which could be a problem. Maybe you should go for shielded buzzer hives behind power plants or something like that. Teleports the Hexapod 1 inch away. And these Harvesters, the rest of Dynamic's economy getting annihilated right now. d.Dackel, he still has Tiberium, but not for long. He just has one Hexapod to destroy. He's trying to take it out. And the refinery will get sold there. I reckon he could have been more efficient though, just by going for a EMP grenades. He didn't do that though. And I reckon in that mid-fight when Dynamic had those Corruptors, he just didn't micro them as well as he could have there. A lot of people say that T-59 is like an easy mode faction of players, but it is if you micro well. If you don't know how to micro, then it's kind of tough dealing with GDI tier 1. But yeah, a lot of people, namely Bycrush, won't like to admit that. Especially nowadays, T-59 is not exactly amazing because they did get a Disintegrator nerf. which was kind of their backbone back in the day, and it was also the way that they got ahead in the early game versus GDI, mostly every game. It looks like the economy is not very well for Dynamic here. He's moving back his drone ship. He's getting income for these units that he's destroying. Harvest is getting taken out, and the problem for him now is that Dynamic, or rather d.Dackel, has no income anymore because he spent so much on refineries. He does have one spike though, which means he's going to be doing pretty well there. This Hexapod's really Dynamic's only source of income. He does have harvesters, which he can leech this field here. Dynamic, or rather d.Dackel, needs to make a move for this Tiberium field right here. Just order all of his harvesters to take it, but I'm not sure if he'll have the time anymore. He hasn't got EMP grenades, so I think he's in trouble. And this Hexapod right now is just going to endlessly recycle its or use its life form recycling system to generate resources for Dynamic. He's not bothering to move his MCV back. Looks like a little attack over here. Prodigy does get taken out, which means that's bad news for the Traveler player. He can't teleport back to base, and he's going for another Prodigy from this barracks here. Could probably pick up on that and park some APCs in front of it. Maybe put a few minefields down as well. Hexapod getting destroyed here. It's showing its rear armor. Portal will be going down as well, so that's really bad for him. Corrupt is going to be ordered on this Hexapod, but I'm not sure if he has the time to get it back. Heroic Rocket Squad's trying desperately to get this back, and he will have enough heal here to save it. Heal of the Hex is a lot less effective though compared to before, and yeah, this is bad news for Dynamic. Actually, not so bad because his Hexapod still lives. He probably can go for another portal. He's going for a Prodigy as well now. Dynamic, or d.Dackel, he's not doing his best at taking that Tiberium on the right hand side of the map. This is his standing army right now. He doesn't have anything besides that. His tech's going to get taken out though, and the Prodigy once again denied from being built, and the tier 3 will be going down as well. So yeah, he's just going to get pincered into his base. And nice effort though from Dynamic, but d.Dackel, I reckon this game was a lot easier if he just went for EMP grenades, but I don't know why Dynamic didn't face his Hexapod when he had the chance to. But with all that said, he's going to lose his base here. Even with the Hexapod still alive, it's not going to matter because you need buildings in this game, by the way, to survive. And that is going to be game. I'm surprised he wasn't able to get a buzzer out just to clean up all these rockets, because at one point they were alone with no anti-infantry support. Hexapod will be going down, and that is Dynamic going along with it. So yeah, guys, that is a game on 1.02. Even when it was 1.02, it was interesting to see how those guys played back in the day. Dynamic, obviously a big Hexalamer. I can attest to that because he played a game on Arena versus d.Dackel, and I couldn't post it. I just couldn't post it. Even though it had 40 wubs, I just couldn't post 20 minutes of 1.01 corrupt laming. I just couldn't. It was that bad. Anyways, guys, that was a pretty good game, highlighting the skill level once again of both guys. I was, what's the word? I was quite... wow, can't think right now. I thought the early game was pretty good from either side. Nice mind games from Dynamic. He went for buzzers first and then descent subsequently afterwards. d.Dackel, if he didn't get that scout into Dynamic's base at that point in time, I reckon he would have been taking more damage. I reckon Dynamic should have gone in at once with all of his disintegrators rather than 2 there and 2 here at the start of the game. But besides that, he played pretty well. A few micro errors here and there, but it is what it is. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this game, and yeah, stay tuned because I'm going to be bringing more of these very old games to you between these pros. And yeah, if you want to see a game featured on this channel, hell, maybe even your own replays casted, then you know, PM me and I will see what I can do. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. This is Master Leaf. Peace out.